Confederate flags are all around. She says it's easier to keep her head down. She looks at you strange when you say there's hope. That's how rebellions work, don't you know?
Brock, James, Andrew, Aaron, and Darth Ward. You may know them as Canadian podcasters, but we here at the Death Star know them as Rebel Scum.
That's a good friend of ours, Barry Brophy, talking right there, joining us live here at the Rebel Scum podcast YouTube channel. My name is James Razile. Joined again on this Monday evening is Andrew Fantasia. Andrew, how goes it?
Hello, James. Thank you, F105, for that amazing song, as always. Thank you, Barry Brophy, for that wonderful little intro. That's pretty damn cool. I like that a lot.
It was pretty awesome. He sent those, so we used it. There's another one there that we're going to surprise everybody with another time. But thank you for sending that, because we desperately need intro stuff going on over here. Guys, if you're joining us, like this and subscribe and tell your friends, your family, your coworkers, your lovers, your ex-lovers, and
your enemies. Tell your enemies,
your
too.
enemies and their kids, especially, to like and subscribe this right here. Andrew, busy week in Star Wars land, I suppose you could say that. There's a new video game coming. Are you happy about that?
Yeah, well, there's actually 2 new video games coming. One of them was kind of dropped on my lap as a surprise today. We got the E3 press conferences that are happening. I'm trying to cover all that stuff over on my channel. A shameless plug for the Andrew Fantasia channel. But you can go there and you can watch me talk about what's going on in the E3 press conferences. But they dropped lots of stuff regarding Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, including what I like to see when I see trailers for video games, gameplay. If you don't show me gameplay, I'm not interested in your trailer at all. But they showed us plenty of gameplay. And then they dropped today at another press conference, they dropped Lego Star Wars, the complete saga. Really quickly, James, before we talk about Jedi Fallen Order, which is, the meteor of the 2 games here, Lego Star Wars has been mysteriously absent for 3 whole movies. Were you feeling that? Like, were you missing it, or was it just off your radar?
Well, no. I have The Force Awakens. My friend Daryl got me The Force Awakens Lego for my birthday when that thing came out, and I played it. I like it. My nephew loves that game. I like the Lego games, but I'm not like hardcore into them. So, The Last Jedi, I didn't think it loaned itself to it that much. I mean, they could have made something out of it for sure. Yeah, I don't know. You?
You're right. Last Jedi and Rogue One didn't really loan themselves well to the whole game nature, really. But I mean, I'm surprised that there wasn't anything like anywhere at all. Solo really felt like it could have had 6 Lego games. Like there was so much there you could have played with. So I was missing them. I was feeling the void. I was like, what? Why would they release just Force Awakens and then stop? So the idea that we're getting, it says all 9 movies in the trailer. So I don't think there's going to be Solo or Rogue One in this bundle.
No, because it's a Skywalker saga games. That's what they're calling it, right? So that's fun. I mean, I know people have fun with those games. They're not. I'm not. I like them. I don't love them. Like I have the Jurassic World one. I have that one, and I have another one, and I play them. But I get over them very quickly. That's my thing. Is I'm like, I don't want to build stuff today, and I put it away.
Yeah, they're so samey that like literally, you can play it for like 2 days and have like a ton of fun, and then you're just like, God, I cannot look at Lego again for like a year now, and you got to move on to something more substantial. But speaking of something more substantial, Jedi Fallen Order, you sent me, I think it was 16 minutes of gameplay. Like they had gameplay in spades.
Yeah.
And then they had a couple more trailers for Jedi Fallen Order at the conference, I believe, yesterday or today. I can't keep track now. but yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing that took place. I am happy with what I have seen. However, I hate to be such a picky grumpy Gus when it comes to games. I like what I have seen, but I don't love what I have seen. What I have seen, I think, is worth buying when it's on sale. But pre-ordering it, paying full price for it, not yet.
Yeah,
they haven't shown me
If this
something yet.
If this was made by anybody other than EA, though, would you have the same feelings, or are you being biased towards EA?
No, not at all. Actually, EA's sort of presence doesn't feel like it's anywhere near this game. Like, this game was just very much like, here's the game, here's Saw Gerrera, here's this, and like the distributor really wasn't in your face with it like they were at Battlefront. No, for me, it's the content of the game itself. It's what we're seeing. It just feels like, yes, it's cool, and they're letting you do cool things and jump around, and there's an AT-AT and lightsaber fights. But so far, what we've seen, it just looks like it's a small game with not a lot of meat to it. It looks like an Uncharted kind of game, a game you can finish in a weekend. And I don't like games I can finish in a weekend, especially when games cost as much as they cost. So that's why right now I'm reserving myself.
I like games that you can finish in a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I can finish this goddamn thing and move on. I'm over it. Stupid game. Make a sequel. That's all. I don't like paying for it. I only buy games half. You know what? People piss me off. Every game's going to be $30 in a year. So just, if you don't want to pay full prices, wait till next November. You'll get it for $30 or maybe $12.99 used. Just wait. Every game goes on sale. And then when a game goes on sale, everyone's like, oh, nobody likes that game. No. Every single game, save for Mario and all that nonsense over at Nintendo, goes on sale for dirt cheap in a year. I got Spider-Man 3 months after it came out for $25. Chill, everybody. You're going to get the game on sale. If you buy it, like, if you get it for full price, that's on you. Like, play it then. Make sure you play it.
Yeah. If, you know, nobody is to blame for paying full price for a game except you, who pays full price for a game. So that's why I really, you know, I am very clutchy with my wallet when games are concerned. As far as Fallen Order looks, as far as what I have seen, I'm not buying this game for at least a year, if not 2 years, until they prove otherwise. Until they show me that this is something really big and juicy and meaty. Right now, I'm playing.
But what can they show you though?
For me, with video games, I find the best way I can tell how much a video game has in it is actually not from the gameplay, but from the pause screens, from the pause menus. Whenever you see somebody playing a game and you see what the pause menu looks like, that shows me what the game's got. It'll show me like how big the map is. It'll show me what kind of collectibles there are. It'll show me what different mods you can make to your character. Like, you look at a game like Skyrim where the pause menus are very elaborate. Right now, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is one of the biggest games I've ever played. I've got over 100 hours easily that I've put into that game, and there's still probably another 40 to go. There's like 8 different pause menus in that game because there's so much different stuff to do. That's what I love. Look at a game like Batman. The Batman games have pause menus for days because there's so many little intricate things to do in those games. So that's what I like to see. What's that?
Those games are overrated. They are. I don't care what anyone says. They're just annoying. They get to a point. I'm like, fuck, shut up, Harley Quinn. I can't stand you. That's how I get when I play it.
Oh, I can't stand Harley Quinn either. But I'll agree with you on that one. But I have so much fun playing those games.
I have more fun playing Battlefront. I said it. There you go. Yeah. I'm going there right now. I don't even care. I think, look, Fallen Order, though, it's all about the story. And I thought Battlefront 2 had a great story. I think they understand what's happening in Star Wars canon, and it's that time frame of Star Wars canon. I think really what they're making is Unleashed. I think they're just making a new Unleashed game, but a reconfig of what that is.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me, and that kind of disappoints me, to be honest, because Unleashed was okay, but too short as far as I'm concerned. So if it is basically just Unleashed again, that's fine. I won't hate it. I'll probably play it and enjoy it for what it is, but I'm not paying more than $20 for that kind of game.
I think the coolest thing is they've turned Saw Gerrera into the greatest Star Wars character of all time.
Yeah. Do you think
seriously
we will see Bo Gullet in this game?
I hope so. I hope they expand on that. That's the one part of Rogue One every time I watch it. I'm like, why say one tends to lose one's mind when one loses their mind for half a second? They should have done that. They should have been like, oh, you feel something, or just ignore that line. But I think, that'd be cool. I don't think so because I don't think Saw Gerrera is going to have that kind of impact on the game. I think it's going to be more, he's just kind of with you. What I'm curious about is how he enters this storyline. That's what I'm curious about. Because there's so much to go on. Because now you have a Jedi who has fallen. He survived Order 66. Right there's a story mark. Then he has to meet this droid, or maybe he already had the droid, but at some point he gets this cool-looking droid. Then somehow he has to meet up with Saw Gerrera and presumably the Partisans. So that happens. And then where does this go? Does he turn to the dark side? Does he does this just end with him dying?
Ooh, you know what? It very well could. I have a feeling he's going to be a likable character. I have a feeling that we're really going to dig Cal Kestis. I really like his droid. His droid just looks like Star Wars. Like when you see a character that you've never seen before who doesn't exist yet, but you see him and you're like, oh yeah, that's a Star Wars character. That's what I feel when I look at his droid. So far, his droid's like my favorite part of what I've seen. So I have a feeling we're really going to like these two characters by the end of the game, which makes it more impactful that they would possibly kill one or even both of them off. So I can totally see that being the case.
I think, sorry, your audio was much louder apparently, so I think I've corrected it. Let me know, everybody, if it is corrected. If not, Andrew, shut up. Stop talking.
Deal. And I apologize for the loudness of my upstairs neighbors. There's nothing I can do but try to drown them out.
No, they're fine right now. Right before we started recording, it was or a future fan. Ahsoka. I don't think Ahsoka should show up in this. I'm really curious about what this story is. I want to know I think this would be their opportunity now to do what the comics kind of did, or they have been with Aphra and whatnot. And I think they should have Iden Versio appear at some point in this game to some capacity. That is who I want to see appear in this. Saw Gerrera is great and everything, but Iden Versio lives in, I know she had the book and everything, but she lives in this video game world where Dr. Aphra lives in the comic world, and I love you use that character to kind of expand that. So I'm hoping Iden Versio gets some loving.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Or even just like, I think her dad was an Imperial pilot, so if Iden's too young for this time period, because I don't know what year we're looking at, then use her dad, because that would kind of have the same effect.
Yeah, because I guess this would take place. Well, no, but Iden Versio fights right after Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah, it starts on Endor.
Yeah. So that would have to be. Yeah, so maybe her dad, yeah, or maybe she could be a little kid. That would be awesome if he like she encounters him or something. I don't know how you work it out. And so she probably won't get any love out of this. I hope that character's not all for naught right now. Thanks, Jacob. Jacob loves the shirt.
I hope not.
Andrew got me this shirt, so thanks, Andrew.
It was the only Episode 1 shirt I could find at Star Wars Celebration Orlando. I mean, not Orlando, Chicago. But yeah, it was very hard to find Episode 1 shirts there. I don't know why.
Because nobody likes the movie but me, Andrew. This is something that I've been learning more and more. I can't wait. We got some cool stuff going on. Let's go on to our Legends row. We'll do an actual Unleash on the video games, because there's a lot of problems with the Star Wars video games, and it stems from there are none. That's how I feel about it. So last week we did Legends row. And do you have the results of those? Do you want me to give the results, or are you good with that?
Let's see. Do I have the results of Legends Row? I have your thing here. Yes, I do have the results. All right, I'll give these out. This was quite an interesting turnout. So our last week's Legends Row, the theme was captains. All right, so we had Captain Tarples, Captain Panaka, Captain Typho, and Captain Candide. Here's what you voted.
Wrong. You guys voted wrong.
You guys voted wrong. Is what you voted. In fourth place, he got Tarples, Mr. Captain Tarples himself. No, again, Jaja, with 6%. He would not be very happy about that.
Unbelievable.
He would use Ndabuma on you if he found out how few of you voted for him. In third place, 22% voted for Captain Typho. Then in second place, Mr. Quarsh Panaka with 33%, meaning Captain Kennedy stole the victory with 39%.
Hold on,
James. Did this surprise you as much as it surprised me? Like I did not expect. I thought Kennedy was going to come in last because he's so new.
Well, he started that way, but you know what? Kennedy actually has a lot of love online. So it didn't shock me necessarily. But also you have three prequels, and two of them are. Yeah, I mean, Typho's a little bit. Who did you end up voting for?
I voted for Panaka.
Barry Brophy voted Tarples. I voted Panaka as well. So for me, it was actually a difficult choice between Panaka and Typho, but ultimately, I think I've always preferred Panaka to Typho, and I kind of always wish that actor that played Panaka wasn't, he was more accepting of it and came back to portray him. Although if he did though, then maybe we wouldn't have got this awesome Panaka and Leia, Princess of Alderaan. Man. But yeah, Kennedy's popular online. People seem to love him. So he squeaked out the win. It was very close, but he squeaked it out. So this week, do you want to give, while I post it on Twitter, everybody go on Twitter and vote for this. It should be up in a second. This one's Rebels. This one is this one's going to cause hate.
Yeah, this is a big one. When I saw you sent me these today, I was like, ooh, okay, yeah, this is going to stir up the cauldron a little bit. It's Rebels characters, mainly our four heroes at the forefront of Rebels: Ezra Bridger, Hera Syndulla, Sabine Wren, and Kanan Jarrus. That is not an easy choice.
It's Kanan, Ezra, Hera, and Sabine, right? Sorry, I'm here.
I don't know what order you have it in, but yeah, it's those four.
It's there now.
And that is really, I think that's one of the ones that you really have to think about before you cast your vote. I had all day to think about it. I know who I'm voting for, but it's not going to be. And if we thought the captain one was close, I guarantee this one's going to be even closer.
Mr. Rez, how's it going? Heidi Feder, Dale. Oh, Dale Erdman says happy birthday. I think. Hold on.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I can't read. These things are going so fast right now. Everybody's awesome. Thanks for joining. Okay.
I'm hopping on the twits as we speak to do my voting.
Okay, you'll be the first vote, so I'm going to wait for your vote on this one. I thought this one was...
Okay, here we go.
I was tempted not to to have this one, because what we do is we rotate each week which one of us gets to choose the four losers to join Legends Row. Oh, Ezra and Sabine are our first two. Andrew, you picked Sabine. Why? Wait, you would have picked Hera, so you haven't voted yet.
No, I picked Sabine because she's cool and I like her hair, and she's got the Darksaber episodes, and she's just awesome.
Wow, I'm shocked that you went with Sabine. I have my Sabine Black Series. I just got it back from Brock's apartment. It's not here yet, though. Oh, guess what I got? I went to Niagara Falls Comic-Con this week. I went there yesterday. Met up with Patreon Aaron Quinton, and I got myself Watto, the Watto Funko.
Oh, I was so upset that I couldn't pick up the Watto Funko at Celebration. I'm so glad you got one.
I got them. They didn't have They didn't have the mall one anywhere, but I got my Watto, so I am extremely happy.
Yeah.
Watto's
all that matters.
Yeah, Watto's not on Legends Row yet. I'm sure at some point Watto will join the ranks. For everybody, get on Twitter and cast your vote. Also, give us a like and a subscribe if you can. It means a lot. Thanks everybody for watching. I like doing Legends Row. So Legends Row is just, you have your Han, Luke, Leia, and all of them. They're obviously a part of it, but this is what secondary characters do we like the most. And I was struggling with the Rebels one because I was like, do we consider them secondary characters? And I decided yes, because the mainstays are the focal points of the live action theatrical releases.
Right.
So I decided if Rogue One characters and Han's and Solo characters can be on it, then Rebels and Resistance characters can also be there. Rural Farm
that makes
Boys
perfect
Girls
sense,
keeps
and that way everybody gets love.
I gotta ask which Funkos. The Funkos were in. Aaron Quinton was walking around. He's just like, there's Funkos are everywhere. He's like, his mind was blown at the amount of Funkos, the obsession. Like Rob, we were there with Rob McDonald, and he would just like leave us. He's like, I'm gonna go look at these Funkos, and he would disappear for like an hour. Good news though, they sold beer
during the E3. Good. During the E3 press conference yesterday that Microsoft did. They have a mobile game coming where it's Gears of War, but all the characters are Funko Pops. It's called Gears of War Pop. You play it on your phone. It looks kind of like a mix between pinball and like tower defense or something like that. It's not the kind of game I would buy, but that's how popular Funko Pops are. You can't even escape them in the video games now. They're everywhere.
That's insane. Well, it's kind of like Shenmue, where you can buy your little Sonic and Virtual Fighter characters. And wait. Anyway, we'll talk about that off there because you've got some comments about that game from what I know.
About Shenmue, the greatest game ever made. Yeah.
It is a good game.
It's a wonderful game.
I'm just reading the comments. There's so many. Andrew, if
anybody in the comments section has played Shenmue, let me know. I want to know if any of our fans are Shenmue fans.
They want you to get cool shirts, is what they want. What you need to do is next time you go to Star Wars Celebration, instead of worrying about me, worry about yourself.
That is true.
Yeah, you need to take care of yourself and get yourself some sweet Darth Maul shirts with some Naboo fighters. Where are they? They're not even on here. Some vulture.
You're hiding there somewhere.
There it is, right there. Anyway.
There it is.
We got a lot. It's a lot of fun. Okay, we got a trivia question, guys. Feel free to answer this trivia question here or on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. Sure. Why not? Andrew, you want to give out this Twitter question? There's no prize. We'll shout out your name, whoever says it. Whoever the first one I read that says it. So I can't promise it'll be the actual one that says it first. If Aaron, I'm trying to get my wife up here to read these. She won't. She's watching Game of Thrones right now. She's catching up. She's almost there.
Aaron's hooked on the Westeros drama. Okay, here's our trivia question. We're starting off with one that's a little bit simple. On which planet did Anakin Skywalker and Padme Naberi Amidala tie the knot? On which planet did they have their wedding? Vote now. And by vote, I mean answer now.
So I'm going to try to look at that.
James reads yours first.
I absolutely hope so as well. Okay, let's get on to our main topic today because we all know that Luke's... Oh, by the way, so I wanted to have the Vanity Fair issue with me when we did this topic about Luke Skywalker and his return and the Rise of Skywalker. But unfortunately, I went to my bookstore and they had the Nicole Kidman Vanity Fair still. And then I went to a drugstore and they didn't even have that. They had the one from the Oscars on the shelf still. So they haven't even updated since February. So I don't know. I mean, maybe by December I will get it. Barry Brophy says Italy, but Rural Farm Boy. Oh, Rural Farm Boy. Okay, I'm just going to name everybody. We're going to start. Rural Farm Boy was the first one with Naboo. Heidi Feder was second with Naboo. Mary Jade Skywalker, Naboo. Like, obviously she would know. Her in-laws are from there. Rural Farm Boy once again said Naboo. He's doubling down on Naboo. Nessa V, Naboo. Rural Farm Boy, Naboo. He tripled down on it. Barry Brophy, Italy. Rural Farm Boy, Naboo. Dale Erdman, Naboo. Why couldn't I think? Rural Farm Boy, email us at rebelscumbags@gmail.com. Give us an email, rebelscumbags@gmail.com. So anyway, Luke Skywalker, I wanted to show the picture because a lot of people, it's actually the thumbnail for this video where it was supposed to be. I don't know if it actually worked out that way. But a lot of people have taken to Vanity Fair to mention that and Mark Hamill's actually mentioned this himself, that R2 looks a lot smaller in comparison to Luke Skywalker. So obviously, Andrew, that picture has been manipulated and doctored and whatnot. But I also, for me, I want to know how you feel. I don't have a problem with that because this is a Vanity Fair. The name of the magazine is Vanity Fair. So I don't have an issue with that necessarily. Do you?
With R2 being a different size, no, that doesn't bug me at all. I thought it was funny, and it was something, that we never really think of. We always just see R2 as this small droid, but we never really kind of stop and think, okay, how small is he exactly? Like, is he like crotch height? Is he knee height? Is he stomach height? Like, where does he fall if he's standing next to me? So I thought it was just kind of funny and very, very Mark Hamill-esque for Mark to point this out and be like, oh, what's going on here? There's a discrepancy. For me, the funniest thing of all is getting these constant text messages from you of pictures from random newsstands that don't have the Vanity Fair in stock.
They're everywhere. You can't find it. I'm looking. I take my lunch break. I go for an hour walk on my lunch, and I just hit up every single location that would sell a magazine. Not there.
Next year. It'll come out next year.
Well, I mean, if the February one is out now, that means by December I should get these. Look, yeah, I haven't bought a magazine in. Well, Aaron, the last magazines I ever got, Aaron got for me for like our anniversaries or Christmas. So there's this Last Jedi one. Then there's this Entertainment Weekly, which is always amazing. Oh, the Last Jedi one's also got a sick back on it as well. And then you got nice. The Rogue One one, and then another Rogue One one. I love Rogue One, obviously. I like them all. But these are the magazines I got. Aaron got me these. And then I had no interest in getting the Vanity Fair because why would I? I mean, I saw the pictures already. But I have that wall of Rey and Kylo, and I want to add them to that wall. That's really the only reason why I want them. Also, Andrew. Oh, God, we're so on a tangent right now because I can't wait to talk about this. But Jannah... This character, like that picture with her and Finn, I actually would get that. I want to get like an extra copy of one of them just to rip that out and frame it. Because like the archery, like I'm out. Like she's going to be my new favorite character if that's what her character is. If she's shooting arrows through the whole thing it's done, dude. It's done. I'm like, well, I'm Jannah for Halloween every year. I don't care. And she grew up on Endor, headcanon.
Yes, yeah, Jannah looks so cool on those horses, and even like back when those what do you call them, like the little like sort of costume test photos leaked for the characters. I remember you sent it to me, and she was at the end of that little row, and I just saw her with the bow, and I'm like, who's that? Yeah, I need to know more about that. That big bow is just something else. That's a Black Series if I ever saw it. Right
I'm gonna get Black Series, Elite Series, 3 1/4 inch, 2 1/4 inch. Those big 10, those weird ones that are $10 that are just ugly looking. There's no detail, but I'm getting that. All of them. It's happening. Anyway, that's enough. We'll talk about Jen another day because that is my new favorite character. Oh, sorry,
maybe we can have Naomi Aki as a guest star before she gets too big.
She already passed that one. She appeared on that stage at Celebration. We lost it. I should have reached out to her. No, just a joke. So Luke Skywalker, he's in this movie. They have announced that Mark Hamill is in the movie. He's on the cast list that they announced. Unlike Matt Smith and Dominic Monaghan, apparently, Mark Hamill is definitely there. He is in this picture in Vanity Fair to show that he has some kind of presence. Now, yesterday at Niagara Falls Comic-Con, Rob, myself, and Aaron Quinton, we all were just talking about it. And Aaron's been wanting to talk about Luke coming back in this movie for a while. And I was thinking, in The Force Awakens, they hid Mark Hamill from us the entire time. And it turns out he wasn't even in the movie. He showed up at the very, very end. The whole movie was about getting to him, but he wasn't actually in the movie. Andrew, never tell me the odds that he is actually going to have a significant role in the Rise of Skywalker. And not just like, I'm here, everything lives in you now, but he is actually going to be in this film for longer than we are meant to believe.
Okay. When I think significant role, especially for a Force Ghost, because we're all assuming he's a Force Ghost, I'm thinking more significant than, say, Force Ghost Obi-Wan in Return of the Jedi. That to me, if it was that kind of role, I would say that's not significant. But I think he will be more significant than that. So I'm going to say 58% that he is he's doing more than we believe he's doing. He's going to be the most active Force ghost we have ever seen, James, and he's going to be haunting Kylo Ren. And there's going to be scenes straight out of Paranormal Activity where Kylo Ren sets up a camera in his bedroom, and lots of horrifying things happen to him. And he's got a Ouija board, and things just keep getting worse and worse. And I'm unable to sleep for years after watching the movie.
Do you think he will be at all physical?
When you say physical, do you mean like able to do things like Yoda with the lightning on the tree, or just like
could he punch Kylo Ren in the face?
That would, you know what? I would love to just see that happen. I'm picturing it now, and I can't get it out of my head. I don't think he'll be physical, but now I want him to be, because you summoned that headcanon. But no, I don't think he'll be that physical.
Do you think that there's a possibility that he hid himself on Act 2, cut himself off from the Force, possibly even faked his own death in The Last Jedi to trick She-VP into returning, because he knew that She-VP's essence was around, but the only way to lure him out was to convert to the dark side, and so he had to get his nephew Kylo Ren to become evil so that he could leave and cut off himself from the Force, and he's using Kylo as a pawn to lure out She-VP.
Ooh, that would be interesting, especially for, and there's a very vocal group of fandom who are very upset that he would, even for 2 seconds, consider killing his nephew. So if that kind of gets explained in Rise of Skywalker as, he's pretending to kill him on purpose because he needs to drive Kylo to darkness, because he needs to pull the Emperor out of hiding, like a roach hiding in a dark corner somewhere, and he's got to lure him out, then yeah, I could get on board with that, baby. That sounds really cool, especially if it will, please some people who were not thrilled with that direction. One of them being Mark Hamill, apparently. So that might cover a lot of bases. I can get on board with it. What do you think?
I'm so conflicted on what I think of everything right now. Like, so like I said about the Vanity Fair pictures, I think they are just pictures. They are just there. Like we saw it with The Last Jedi and Force. They're just there. They're like, oh, these are nice looking. They're different from trailers and TV spots and posters. They're just nice, beautiful looking pictures. So I don't think what we see in it translates on film at all. It is intriguing to me that they would go out of the way to show, a village or a forest wilderness behind him on fire, which really, because that really kind of, you're like, oh, but remember in Force Awakens, his hand goes up on R2 and he grabs it, and then we saw it in Last Jedi and all that. So it's to me, that's an intriguing factor that they would go that far to be like, well, this is the picture, because Lucasfilm is like, this is what you're allowed to show, and we want you to show that Luke Skywalker. Maybe that in the movie, maybe if that is, which is highly unlikely, but maybe that is taking from the movie, and that's actually a Force ghost Luke, and in the movie we'll see that, but he'll actually be blue. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, we can't, as beautiful as those pictures were, they don't have, as far as I can remember, special effects added to them. Like, I don't think there was ever a picture where somebody had the effect. The only effect we really saw was, I think, the lightsaber fight. Other than that, everything was just kind of actors in locations. So yeah, it could definitely be a ghost, and they just, they hadn't thrown that image of Mark Hamill to Photoshop yet and slapped some blue gloss on him yet.
Well, I think they also wouldn't do that, because then they would be giving away how he came back, because I think they want to leave it open, like, oh, maybe he didn't die in the last, because I think people want to be optimistic heading into this movie, right? And Lucasfilm and Disney, they want you to be optimistic with what's going to happen in 9.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a more happy ending kind of movie than we've had so far.
Hold on,
I
got to read this because the chat's lighting up. Sorry, this is when we need Aaron. I'm gonna keep calling her until she comes up. She's like, what? Okay, wait. Everybody stop writing for a second. Nessa V says, James, I went to Galaxy's Edge yesterday.
Oh.
And looked at the price of blue milk since you were wondering. $7.99. I won't even get into the alcoholic drink prices at the cantina. LOL. Well, I'm not going to lie. $7.99, that's American though. So that's $9.99, $10.99. Ooh, for milk. And it's vegan milk, so it's not even milk.
Ouch.
Yeah, they're really.
Ouch.
They really. So, but okay, Nessa, you got to let me know in the comments. We're going to keep talking about Luke, but you got to let me know in the comments just how awesome it was, or if you're like, no, overrated, which it could be. I don't know why, but just let me know, Nessa, please. Thank you so much for that comment. Andrew, keep talking about Luke for a second.
First of all, Nessa, let us know what that tasted like if you tried it, because I'm curious to see. I always pictured blue milk being sweet, like Nesquik. You know, when you add Nesquik powder to milk and it turns pink or brown or something, it's got a sweetness to it. That's how I always pictured blue milk. Let me know if I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. But no, Luke Skywalker, I feel he's going to show up as a ghost. I know there's optimism about him being possibly alive, possibly faking his death, etc. But I personally wouldn't want to diminish the end of Last Jedi, diminish that powerful moment of the sunsets and him fading away on the rock. Let him be dead. Let him be a dead body. Let him be a ghost. That's the beauty of Star Wars. You can have characters stick around and have their deaths be permanent and meaningful. It pleases everybody. Because the minute you start taking away death is the minute I start saying you took away stakes.
But
so
what if he wasn't dead? What if he was force projecting the whole time? I think that I don't know what I think yet, but but what if he was force projecting the force projection to force project? That aside, that's nonsense. But because there's a lot of comments in the live chat and a lot of comments in social media and online, and everybody knows that people had issues with The Last Jedi. That's it. And a lot of the issues were Luke Skywalker. # not my Luke Skywalker. You can agree with that, right, Andrew? As much as you love The Last Jedi, you can acknowledge that people had a problem with it. And even if you agree with Luke Skywalker, you have to also acknowledge that you can see the point of view that people have when they don't understand, they don't grasp Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. Am I off base by saying that?
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so what percentage do you give this movie, The Rise of Skywalker, to redeeming Luke to those fans? That he could do something that will not affect your opinion of what happened in The Last Jedi, but will affect the people that said, that is # not my Luke. Do you think he will become the Luke that we have all wanted to see on screen? And I don't even know what I mean by that, but the thing with Luke is he was this wide-eyed kid who wanted to join the rebellion, and it turned out that his father was a Jedi, and he wanted to become a Jedi Knight like his father, and he did everything he could to do it, and then he succeeds, and the Empire is destroyed, and his father, sacrificed himself because the love brought him back, and then 30 years goes by, and he's like, I'm cut off from the Force. We don't know what happened in that time frame. He was only on Acto for 5-6 years. He wasn't cut off from the Force for 30 years. He was cut off for 5-6 years. So the Luke Skywalker that we all might have wanted, everybody that had a problem with him might have wanted, probably existed for 20, 25 years. Do you think we will get heroic Luke Skywalker in The Rise of Skywalker?
I think we'll get a taste of him. I think that it's pretty much a given at this point, even though it's never been confirmed, that The Rise of Skywalker is going to have le flashbacks. Who knows how many? Maybe 1, maybe 47. I mean, this is going to be a 3+ hour movie, so they have plenty of time to spare for flashbacks. I would not be surprised at all to see a younger Luke, maybe not like, as young as he was in Return of the Jedi, but a younger Luke before his death in a flashback running around being the quote-unquote badass Jedi that everybody wanted to see in The Last Jedi. There you go. You got to see that version of Luke. You're just seeing him in this flashback here. I could 100% see that sort of thing happening. And I could also definitely see, even if the Rise of Skywalker doesn't touch on that aspect of Luke, don't kid yourself. Somebody will. In the future, somebody will touch on that aspect of Luke. Minor spoilers for a video I'm making that should be out by the end of this week. I'm making a video on my channel where it's 10 ideas for canon video games that EA could make today. And one of them may or may not touch on this. So there you go.
Yeah, you know what I was gonna say. You know what the problem? You know, I don't have I have issues with canon in that once you do it, it's done, right? There's no going back. And Disney and Lucasfilm, they've already gone back on them, like, wow, it's not really canon because it happened in a book, and a book's not a movie. What? Then what are you talking about? But you know what? I honestly think what they should do is be like, everything is connected. However, we can retcon whenever the hell we want. That's what I think they should do, because then you could tell awesome stories. So what I mean, though, is like if Andrew, if you're like, I'm going to write a book right now, that book has to make sense in all of Star Wars that we've gotten up until this point. However, in 10 years, when Ghost World is like, oh, I'm going to do a Star Wars book, and that thing that Andrew did was wrong, I'm going to do this. Cool, it's been 10 years. No one cares. No one read that book. No offense, Andrew, but no one read that book. It's been 10 years. Books aren't even, they don't even make books anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, don't handcuff yourself is all I'm saying. Because, you know, now like this whole Dooku thing, they have the Dooku audio drama that's out, which, you know, I haven't actually listened to it yet. But people like it, people don't like it. But now if you're like, well, I want to go, someone says, like, let's just say like the best filmmaker ever walks in and goes, I want to make a Dooku movie. And he has or she has the greatest pitch of all time. They're like, well, you can't do that because this audio drama that a small percentage of moviegoers listen to, you can't do it. That's my, I don't know where I got on with this right
now. I agree to an extent. Personally, I really like the new canon's sort of firmness, because beforehand, when Legends was all we had, it kind of operated like that. It's like, okay, here's this story, and then in 8 years, somebody's like, well, I have a better idea, and they just kind of cancel it out. And, you know, if you're somebody who bought and invested in that earlier story, now all of a sudden it's like, well, never mind. And it was just too chaotic. It was like the Wild West. Everybody was shooting their guns in different directions. And I like that they're trying to pull in the reins. Yes, it has caused, you know, its own new set of problems. Yes, we have sort of a drought of video games and stories where we could have a big influx of them. But I'd rather have fewer good things than a whole bunch of things where only a couple of them are great. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I mean, new canon books have not all been home runs either. But at least I'm not buying, you know, one every 2 weeks and being like, oh, please, God, let this be good. I'm running out of money. At least now it's like, you know, 3 novels a year, a handful of comics, 1 video game every 1.5 years, and that's it. Like, at least we can kind of pace ourselves.
The reason why I'm into all of the novels and stuff now is because it does ultimately connect, and it makes a difference in some weird way. Even though theatrically, I don't know if it does. I really want to talk about this with you. I really want to talk, maybe not this week, but another week, where like when are the filmmakers that were kids during the prequels going to start making movies? And when are we going to start seeing characters from the Clone Wars, I mean, Saw Gerrera aside, really kind of flourish? Like, when is Hera going to be in a cantina somewhere? Like, that is, like, I'm just, like, when are we going to get to that level? Because, I mean, maybe it'll happen in 9, but I don't think J.J. Abrams and company are there. I think it's this other generation that has to come in and be like, do you know what we loved about Star Wars? This. Let's do it.
I would say any time now, man, because if you were 8 years old when The Phantom Menace came out, guess what? You're 28 now, and maybe you graduated film school, you're an up-and-comer. Maybe you're like, man, yeah, Phantom Menace just rocked my world as a kid. I want to make movies like that. Hey, guess what? Now I'm old enough and I've finished all my studies and I've done my years as an intern at a studio or what have you. Now I'm starting to get some names for myself. Next thing you know, they're directing a picture, a Hollywood picture. So I say literally like their time is now, like their time. In fact, if JJ hadn't already come on board when this trilogy started, like they could have been making 9. This is their time as filmmakers.
Absolutely. So let's get back to Luke Skywalker. So just commenting. Thanks everybody for commenting. It's awesome. I love these conversations that go on the side. It's we're white noise.
Thanks,
to that.
guys.
We're white noise, and they're just typing away. It's awesome. I love it. Great review on Galaxy's Edge. Andrew, you're gonna hate it. I'm just joking. It's a great review of Galaxy's Edge by Nessa. Rural Farm Boy says that Dooku's really good. He really enjoyed it. Gonna have to listen to it again. Yes, everybody, like and subscribe. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Let's get things going over here. Just check it out. Andrew, people really dig your beard. Remember when we were shooting our feature film out there, and I said, "Can you have a beard?" And you said, "No." I hate you so much right now. Right now, I hate you. Do you remember that? We had that conversation. You weren't getting paid. I said, "Would you have a beard?" You're like, "No."
That was I didn't remember that till you brought it up. I tried to go for something different, and I've been getting lots of compliments on it. So thank you, everybody. I'll try to keep it in check. I don't want it to get too crazy. I'm not a Viking yet.
No, you got to go full Luke Skywalker. Have like the have like a Jedi beard for when you go see Rise of Skywalker.
I wouldn't mind, because I don't like the whole Jedi wizard thing practically, because I just imagine it would be itchy as hell and really hot. But I wouldn't mind like Pai Mei from Kill Bill, like a really thin one that I can just go, ha! Like one of those. That'd be kind of fun.
All right, no one's telling you not to have that kind. He had a
no
beard.
one except my genes.
Oh, you had a beard in Jericho's movie, but not okay. You know what, Andrew? You're a cutoff. I'm gonna go over check out our poll very quickly. Here we go. Kanan at 22%, Ezra at 44%, Hera at 0, and Sabine at 34%. Hera's getting no love. I thought everybody loved Hera.
She was my second choice. Wait, so who's leading?
Ezra Bridger, the Bridge Master.
Ezra Bridger. That's my horrible attempt at doing the Bendu. I am the Bendu. I can't do it.
I'm the one in the middle.
See, I'm bad at impressions too.
Well, how about that? Could Luke Skywalker be a Bendu type at this point? What is the Bendu? He's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, the Bendu, I'm still not clear on what he can and can't do. If a whole season of a show couldn't really explain that all, I wouldn't want one movie to try to explain it, because I feel like people would just be lost. I feel like he's just going to be there to provide vocal support or vocal torment, but nothing. He's not going to be making storms, at least as far as I think. If he does, I won't be like, this is stupid, but I just don't see it happening.
Jeff Wilson says go Raptors. Let's go Raptors. I was going to wear my Raptor jersey.
Yes,
today,
Jeff
but,
Wilson.
We had some technical difficulties leading into this, and my Raptor jersey is over there, so I can't. Yeah.
I look forward to seeing Golden State lose.
Oh, thanks for jinxing the Raptors. Raptors start at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's 6 p.m. Pacific. So have you heard though? We got to cite Akbar into the Raptors for one brief second. Stay with me. Did you hear? So McDonald's had a deal with the Raptors for every time they hit a certain amount of threes, you got free fries. I think they've been doing, like, it used to be like if they got 100 points a game, you got a free pizza. It used to be. Now McDonald's in like July started this. Then like 2 weeks later they traded for Kawhi, and this year they've had to give. They thought it was going to cost them like $700,000 in fries. It's been millions of dollars they had to give away for free in fries because the Raptors have been dominating, and it's awesome.
That's like the in The Simpsons when Krusty does that tie-in thing with the Olympics where you get a free burger when America wins, and then America was winning all the golds because Russia backed out, and Krusty lost a bunch of money.
Yeah, great time to deliver Uber Eats would be right. right now. I can't wait. Luke Skywalker in episode 9. How's he going to appear, Andrew? There's a part of me that I agree with you. I think dead should be dead, unless you're in the MCU. Dead should be dead. And even they kind of stuck with that at the very end. They're like, yeah, you know what? Everyone's kind of dead. But I think dead is dead. But in Star Wars, that's not the case because we've seen Jedi come back, and we have not really, aside from Yoda, we haven't had a Force Ghost come back in a long time. Yoda was our first Force Ghost since Obi-Wan in Return of the Jedi. Like, think about it. We went through the prequels. We heard Qui-Gon. Yeah. Anakin, no. That's a great Liam Neeson, by the way.
Well, one thing that we don't have yet in terms of merchandising is a toy of Force Ghost Luke. So you really think Lucasfilm is going to miss out on that gold mine? Everybody's going to want a Force Ghost Luke. A Black Series, a Funko, whatever those Disney Store ones are called. I forget, the Elites. There's your answer. The merchandising department's going to be like, yeah, can you just keep him dead, please? And JJ's going to be like, yeah, that's fine with me.
Well, that comes up with another question that another topic we're going to have to have another time. We've talked about this a lot, is how much fan service are they going to throw into this film? How much are we going to get?
Well, that depends on how many Ewoks we get, James, and I think the answer to that question is several.
Oh my gosh. We did episode 129 of the podcast. Go listen to it, watch it if you haven't. It's literally just Brock and I talking about Galaxy's Edge. I know you're not really interested in that, but we're talking about Galaxy's Edge like nonstop. And I was just like, if this was in the 80s, there would just be Ewoks like running around the park.
Yeah, Ewoks running rampant.
yeah, and I would love to see that. But obviously that's not going to be the case here. But Luke Skywalker is not at Galaxy's Edge, and if he shows up as a Force Ghost, could you imagine some actor has to be Luke Skywalker with like a blue light around him at the park? Luke Skywalker. I think though at this point in time, and this could change, we're still 7 months away, or 6 months now away from the release of the film. Wow, we're getting there. 6 months away from the release of Rise of Skywalker. That at this point in time, I actually think that his role in the film will be bigger than we believe. And I'm not saying he will be a main character next to Rey like I insinuated at the beginning, but I really do think that his role might be a lot. It might be more than just Alec Guinness in Empire.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think we can bank on him having, I'd say, a good 15 minutes of screen time. In a 3.5 hour long movie, that might not seem like much, but I think in the grand scheme of things, 15 minutes of screen time for Luke sounds about right to me. And I would say another 15 for SheVP. I feel like they will be physically on camera for that amount, but their presence will be felt throughout the movie, even when neither of them are on screen. And if they share a scene together,
that's what I was just going to ask.
I might faint.
Will they share a scene together? Do you think they will share a scene together?
I would love that. I'm going to say maybe the odds of that might be 62%. I don't know. What do you think?
Andrew, I don't know. Because there's a part of me
you haven't seen it yet?
Yeah, I haven't seen it. No, there's a part of me that says 100% they're gonna have a scene together. And there's another part of me that says absolutely not. But Luke is going to let Rey know this massive detail that she needs to know in order to confront SheVP. Those are my two scenarios in my head right now.
Okay, I can get on board with that. He's got the information. The only other person in the galaxy who would know that kind of info is Leia, and I don't think they have lines recorded of Carrie saying, just in case Palpatine's in Episode 9, here's some info you should know, Rey. I don't think they got that far with Carrie. So yeah, I think that Luke would be the one to give her that. Or no, I'm going to backtrack. C-3PO, my boy C-3. He knows so much. This is going to be his movie. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. This is C-3PO's movie. It's happening.
Yeah, we keep meaning to talk about that, but we get off topic. That one week we will talk about C-3PO in this movie. I know you want to. Rob and I actually, while we drove home from Niagara Falls, Rob and I did 3 episodes of our the 1313 Monday to Friday podcast that we do for Patreon, and I think the Wednesday one, Rob and I talk about 3PO and his connection to Dio, the new droid Dio. So that's what. Hold on. Ghost World says, knowing Mark Hamill, I think he did have more time. He wouldn't be so angry on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, Mark Hamill is kind of bitter on Twitter, and he brings it up a lot. But he could also be reverse psychologying it right now, too. He could be like, we screwed up. Like the hashtag missed opportunities. Who's to say there's not a scene with Han, Luke, and Leia in this movie in a flashback at some point on the Falcon with a young Lando?
Oh, my God.
My God. Anything is possible right now in episode 9 because we haven't seen it. And until we've seen the movie, anybody in the comments has to say, you're always wrong. But what you have to say with Rob, me, Brock, anything anybody has to say, I mean, we could debate it, but nobody's right or wrong until we see the movie on December 20th. That's it.
That's right.
It's just like no one is wrong. And I don't care how stupid your theory is or my theory or anything that we read or hear. It's plausible at this point. Anything is possible. Han Solo's not dead. When he got stabbed, that was a hologram. It was a force projection. Luke force projected Han onto that bridge, and that's how that worked. It's stupid.
Underneath that bridge, it was actually a giant pool of healing Bacta. So when Han fell, it actually closed up his wound, and then he commandeered his ship and got safely away from Starkiller Base. If that sort of thing floats your boat.
I think actually the Luke that we saw in Act 2 was actually just a bunch of porgs in a cloak.
Yes, that's why when he disappeared, they were just scurrying out of the sleeves.
I'm just looking at the who's watched or seen Battle Los Angeles. Me, I saw that in D-Box.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Battle Los Angeles. I remember that.
Okay, Jarek, they all want you to act out a Leia scene.
Okay. Oh, a particular scene or just any Leia scene?
Any Leia scene.
Oh boy. Okay. I feel like I should go with something from Empire because I think all of her good sassy moments are in there. But let's see. Oh, I'm on the spot. Let me see what I can do here. All right. Okay. It's so I can't think of a single Leia thing that would work really well. I don't know what it is. Give me a scene, James. I need you to give me a scene.
Just become slave Leia. Just be slave Leia. That's what the people want.
Okay. Let me just start taking things off. Hold on. All right. Okay. I got it. Fine. We're going with A New Hope. Ready?
Yeah. We're waiting.
You needn't worry about your reward. If money is all you want, then that's what you'll receive. Your friend is quite a mercenary. I wonder if he really cares about anyone or anything.
You're close, but she has this more like inward voice. It's awesome. I don't know how to like that.
Yeah.
Like she has more of that in there, so you need to work on that. But it was actually, it was surprising. You kind of freaked me out, but it was a little scary.
You're welcome.
I did an impression earlier today. I made up a Star Wars character, and I think I did all right. I think the character that I made up. It was the second best spot I could do. Let's go back to our pool.
Wait a minute. No, you can't just gloss over this, buddy. Who's this character you made up? I want to know more.
Dang, Andrew. She has an English accent. Yeah. Andrew needs to voice Leia in episode 9. I don't know. I think they could make the main MacGuffin have pull like an Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade plot. Look, I've been saying this from the start. Watch Scream 3. Watch Scream 3. All of your answers that you have, all the questions you have will be answered in Scream 3. Right?
Yes,
Scream.
absolutely. We tend to forget just how influential Neve Campbell was in our lives in the 90s. That Neve Campbell was a beautiful woman. She still is. If you watch Skyscraper yet, James, Neve Campbell looks amazing in Skyscraper. She's not aged a day. She's a gorgeous lady.
I started watching Skyscraper, and then I stopped. Okay, wait. Before you say anything else, I just want to play Randy from Scream 3.
I'm here is to help you so that my death will not be in vain. That my life's work will help save some other
This
poor
part's
soul
all nonsense,
from
what
getting
he's saying right here.
If this killer does come back and he's for real,
Okay, so ignore the killer part.
things that you got to remember. Is this simply another sequel? Well, if it is, same rules apply.
This is
But
not it.
Here's a critical thing. If you find yourself dealing with an unexpected backstory,
I don't know what's going on.
Can you hear?
Exposition, then the
Nope.
sequel rules do not apply because you are not dealing with a sequel. You are dealing with the concluding chapter.
I think you're going to have to say the dialogue. Oh,
That's right. It's a rarity in the horror field, but it does exist. And it is a force to be reckoned with. Because true trilogies are all about going back to the beginning and discovering something that wasn't true from the get-go. Godfather, Jedi, all revealed something that we thought was true that wasn't true. So if it is a trilogy you are dealing with, here are some super trilogy rules. 1, you got a killer who's going to be superhuman. Stabbing him won't work, shooting him won't work. Basically, in the third one, you got to cryogenically freeze his head, decapitate him, or blow him up. Number 2, anyone, including the main character, can die. This means you, Sid. I'm sorry. It's the final chapter. It could be fucking Reservoir Dogs by the time this thing is through.
No swearing, Randy.
Number 3, the past will come back to bite you in the ass. Whatever you think you know about the past, forget it. The past is not at rest. Any sins you think were committed in the past
Let
are
the
about
past
to
die.
break out and destroy you.
that's
Okay.
that's very telling.
But the thing is, this is a terrible movie. And real farm boy saying the horror movies are for him, but the horror aspect's not the point of it. But what he's saying about trilogies, every time you watch the third movie in a trilogy, what he's saying, just plays out.
Is 100% right.
Yeah, and I'm always
100% right.
And I'm always like, this is nonsense. And then you watch the third movie all the time. Last Crusade, his dad comes back, his past comes back. Godfather, also incest. What other trilogy? Die Hard. It's Hans Gruber's brother. Spoiler alert. Like every freaking movie, even ones that came after Scream 3, when you're like, well, they would have figured that out. Mission Impossible 3. His wife has to come into it. Like, there's all these things that play out that he says anybody can die.
The Dark Knight Rises, Ra's al Ghul's daughter.
Yeah, exactly. They keep going back to this stuff, and so I don't know what it is, but they all went to the same film school, so. I'm just saying we need to look back at here's the one we'll leave on this thought, Andrew, is do they treat this movie as the third one in the sequel trilogy, or do they treat the sequel trilogy as the third one in the Skywalker saga?
Both. Yeah, I've wanted that to be the case for both. Yes, it's the part 3 of this trilogy, but this trilogy is also part 3 of the Skywalker saga, so you better damn well connect those dots and make this feel right, make Randy's rules apply to everything, and that to me is the most satisfying way you can close this all up.
I think Rey and Kylo Ren are the key. Palpatine's back. We start putting 2 and 2 together on that. One of the shots for Vanity Fair that we didn't touch on is that shot of Rey and Kylo Ren on top of what might be the Death Star, with all the rain crashing down, the waves crashing down, and whatnot. And a bunch of people pointing out that their eye lines are off. And what if that is a Force fight? What if they are fighting from it's the Force Skype, and they're on different parts, but they're fighting each other?
Oh, that's crazy. If they're I don't know how they'd be fighting if you can't touch through Force Skype. So unless they find a way to touch and make that more powerful.
Maybe they can now. They pretty much were there in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, with the water and everything. So yeah, that'd be interesting to see. One of the fans pointed out that it looked like they were on top of the Millennium Falcon, and that this was an actual physical duel they were having on top of the Falcon while it moved through the sky. And that blew my mind. I was like, okay, now I need to see that just once before I die. I need to see two people have a lightsaber fight on top of a moving spaceship. So give me that and I'll be overjoyed as well.
All right. I want to watch that as well, but I don't think we're going to get that. Here we go. Jeff Wilson. We'll wrap it up now. Jeff Wilson says, Pablo Hidalgo was asked on Twitter his top 3 takeaways from episode 9, and he said, I actually watched this tweet, December is a great time to go offline. ILM can do anything, and on to the next thing. That's what he had to say his big takeaways are. And if you guys don't follow Pablo Hidalgo on Twitter, he actually is hilarious. I actually love his tweets. But every once in a while, he does give you that tidbit that you need. It's like Transformer sketches, joke, and then tidbit. Those are his 3 ways of tweeting.
Yeah.
I don't know what order it'll be, but you're going to get all 3 of those at some point. Yeah, there's a lot. I think he's... look. Rian Johnson made The Last Jedi, and J.J. Abrams said that he learned a lot from Rian Johnson, and it made him decide to take risks that he otherwise might not have. So, look, I think we're gonna do some research on this, Andrew, because I think the ending of this saga and of this trilogy is going to be easy to figure out. We know the answers right now. Either we're looking too hard or we're not looking hard enough, but we know the answers. They are there in front of us. There's no surprises coming. I mean, there are surprises coming, but if you... So the other question is, do we want to solve this puzzle before December hits?
Yeah, that's the tricky part. I mean, I don't like I love talking about it, obviously, and we do it every week, but I would not want to walk out of that theater on December 20th and be like, oh, yeah, it's what I figured would happen, and feel disappointed by that. I think that was a lot of the problem, at least subconsciously, with the prequels that people had, was, they walked in like, yeah, it's exactly what I figured. They fought some clones, and Anakin did some bad stuff, and Obi-Wan is his master, and now they're going to turn to the dark side in the next movie. If we can avoid that mentality, I think we'll be okay. But yeah, we want to talk about it without ruining for ourselves, and that's a fine line to walk. I would tell my friends that too during last couple months while Game of Thrones was on, where every week it's like, okay, so what do you think is going to happen this week? And I'd have to be like, guys, as much as I love talking about it, it's coming on in like 4 hours. Let's just let it happen. Yeah. And I gotta be careful, because as much as I love to speculate, if I get too serious with my speculation, I might run the risk of ruining something. I don't want that. But if you really want to shock me and show me something that I would never see happening, JJ, have Rey drop an F-bomb in the movie. I would die laughing if that happened. She's a sassy, tough girl from the wrong side of Jakku. It's totally believable that her character would get a little salty with her language every now and then. Have her drop an F-bomb. I would love to see that.
Well, I mean, that's what Carabas is, and I don't think Star Wars is going to go in that direction. I think that's just not going to happen. Anyway, let's wrap things up. Thank you, everybody in the comments. It means a lot to us. Once again, give us a like, give us a subscribe. It really helps us out. Helps us come back every Monday to do these. Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I would like to do this record. All right, I'm just rigging it. This looks good. Let's go out with some F105. Andrew, thanks so much. I hope you had some fun.
I did. I hope you had some fun. And thank you, everybody, for commenting and watching and supporting, because we love you.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, may the force of others be with you.
Always.
Brock, James, Andrew, Aaron, and Darth Ward. You may know them as Canadian podcasters, but we here at the Death Star know them as Rebel Scum.
She's waiting for someone to stand by her side. desert sun that you made.